Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, as you may know, this is the time of the year where state legislators are getting ready to go back into session right after the turn of the calendar year. And so you can find some pre-filed bills out there and start taking a look at some of the craziness that might be coming along around the country. Today, we're going to focus on an absolutely ludicrous piece of legislation, which is now kicking around in the state of Michigan, which would ban colored firearms. Not just any colored firearms, only those that are deemed deceptively colored firearms. What the heck is it? And what problem is it actually trying to solve? I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me figure out. But today, let's spend a few minutes. We'll geek out on the bill and we'll talk about the state that wants to ban colored guns. Okay, hey, before we get going too far down the road we're going down, let's remember that this video is being brought to us by our good friends at the Sonoran Desert Institute. That's right, get ready to launch your career in the firearms industry today. Get ready to start arming yourself with education today. And most importantly, get ready to start defending the inalienable rights of millions of lawful and responsible gun owners nationwide, all through our most powerful act, which is education. Listen, the Sonoran Desert Institute has a program, certificate, or degree for anything that you may desire. So for more information, check them out in the description box below, or easier yet, just go ahead and visit them at sdi.edu. Okay, Michigan, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about newly proposed Senate Bill 1134, a bill which, if enacted into legislation, would ban colored firearms in the state of Michigan. What does the bill actually read? Let me just give you the language so that you can understand what it is they're talking about. If enacted into law, the new law would read as follows. Except as otherwise provided in this section, an individual shall not do any of the following. A. Sell, purchase, transfer, own, possess, carry, or transport a deceptively colored firearm. There's more prohibitions in the statute. B. Modify or attempt to modify a firearm to make it a deceptively colored firearm. Okay, what else? C. Sell, purchase, transfer, own, possess, carry, or transport a deceptive coloring product. Okay, now we're getting into the product. So is the state of Michigan now going to outlaw all Cerakoting whatsoever? And then there's one other prohibition. D. Sell, purchase, transfer, own, possess, carry, or transport a covert firearm. Okay, so we have all sorts of new terminology. What the heck does any of that mean in Michigan? Well, the bill does tell us what this all means, so let's go through that. Deceptively colored firearm means a firearm of which a substantial portion of the exterior surface is any color other than black, brown, dark gray, dark green, silver, steel, or nickel. Okay, so apparently the state of Michigan now believes that they have the right to legislate what color your firearms would mean. Now, there is other terminology you need to be aware of, including deceptive coloring product means a product that is intended to be used alone or in combination with another product to modify a firearm to make it a deceptively colored firearm. Which raises the question, does possessing any of the materials necessary to do Cerakoting then become illegal under Michigan law? Because as we know, although Cerakoting is used a lot on firearms, there are hundreds and hundreds of products in which can be Cerakoted. Covert firearm means a firearm that is constructed in a shape or configuration such that it is not immediately recognizable as a firearm. What this exactly means, I mean, I have seen one firearm that kind of looked like a cell phone when folded up and things like that. That is the definition they give. Now, understand, Michigan, if this becomes law, that if you are found in violation of it, it's a simple misdemeanor, which means you can get up to a year in jail and up to a $500 fine. Then, of course, anytime some new radical law is going into effect that will ban certain firearms, everyone asks, is there a grandfathering clause? That is, if I already own or possess firearms like that, will this law then ban me from ownership of those lawfully purchased firearms? The answer is no, it won't. This is how the statute and the exceptions in the statute would read. This section does not apply to any of the following. A. The ownership or possession of a deceptively colored firearm, covert firearm, or deceptive coloring product by an individual who owns or possesses it on the effective date of the amendatory act that added this section. So if you are in possession of any of those products when this law goes into effect, the ownership of those products would in fact be grandfathered in. But then, for anyone else, there's all sorts of other complications. B, the ownership or possession of any deceptively colored firearm, covert firearm, or deceptive coloring product by an individual who receives the deceptively colored firearm, covert firearm, or deceptive coloring product by operation of law after the effective date of the amendatory act that added this section, so long as such individual, no later than 14 days after receipt, does either of the following. Okay, so if you come into this after the enactment of the law, and then you do one of the two following within the 14 days, you would not technically be in violation of this law. They are: A, surrenders the deceptively colored firearm, covert firearm, or deceptive coloring product to the Department of State Police for disposal. 2, modifies the deceptively colored firearm or covert firearm so that it is no longer a deceptively colored firearm or covert firearm and cannot be readily converted into one. And then, of course, there are other exceptions to the statute, but those are all for police, military, National Guard, other government agents, or things like that. So you, the lawful and responsible gun-owning Michigan resident, no. Your state now believes that they should have essentially a little color palette, and unless it matches one of their little approved colors, you don't get your firearm. The Senate bill, once again, is 1134. It's being sponsored by Senator Paul Hankey. We're going to link it all up down below so that you guys can geek out on it for yourself, and we will obviously keep track of this to see if it picks up traction and moves its way through the Michigan State Legislature during their session. If you got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, cool, let's hear about it. Click on that link right there and let us know. If you want to just subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.